Hi, it's Summer here with Being on Purpose, and today I want to talk to you about 5 ways that you can stop procrastinating. So these techniques are going to go a little bit deeper than just your standard, just get it done, make a list. Those are all useful, but this is going to go a bit deeper than that. So the first way is to stop the if only thoughts. So if you notice yourself, a lot of times people will have if only I was this way, if only this situation was a little bit different, if only I was more like this other person, if only this other person would do something different, if only this other person would say something different. All of these things are common, especially in procrastinators. And so that's the first thing that you want to look for and find a way to switch that around. Write another story, make up another reason, like find another way, another perspective to look at the same situation and focus on the way things are. Focus on acceptance and finding out how to find your power in the way things currently are now. So that's tip number 1, is to look at your if only thoughts and pay attention to them and get the information that is coming from them about what you're believing about yourself and the world. Step number 2 is notice if you're afraid of your thoughts or the type of thoughts that you're having. So a lot of people will judge themselves and maybe have a thought, okay, she looks ugly in that dress. And then, oh my goodness, judging, oh, I can't believe I'm a horrible person for having that thought. And oh my goodness, having all this self-judgment about the thoughts that we're having, instead of realizing that their thoughts, it's okay, I thought that, wow, that's something interesting and fascinating to know about myself and the beliefs that are coming from my subconscious. So they can be useful, but it's not useful to judge ourselves for the thoughts that we are having. So just notice your thoughts, notice what they are, and don't be afraid of them. Don't be in resistance to them or judging yourself saying, I should really be thinking different thoughts, or I should really be having amazing thoughts of wonderful nurturance for every human being and every animal and plant and everything. So we can't always be that way all the time because everybody's human. So just understand that and know that everybody experiences those thoughts from time to time. And the best way to, deal with them without making them worse is just to notice them. Just notice them. Imagine like you're sitting on the side of a road and there's cars going by, and you could just place the thought on a car and just let it go by, watch it go by, and then watch it leave, and don't engage the thought. So you don't have to be afraid of your thoughts or in resistance to them or judging yourself for having them, but just simply watch them as they float by or ride by, or however you want to visualize that, and then just let them go by basically without engaging them and sinking deeper into them or judging yourself for having them, because we're all human and we all have thoughts like that. So that is tip number 2. The next tip is tip number 3, and this one has to do with your feelings and how to deal with your feelings. So instead of burying your feelings or resisting them or reaching for something else to do to take away feelings of anxiety or fear or any type of negative feeling, sadness, loneliness, instead of doing any of those things, instead of resisting them or repressing them or just trying to pretend that they're not there, that's not going to be useful or really help you in the long term. The way to deal with them is really to acknowledge them first and to just notice the feelings you're having, label them and say, okay, well, I'm feeling fear right now. I'm feeling lonely right now. And then process them, integrate them, and find out what you can do to help make yourself feel better. What are positive steps you can take to help comfort or soothe or do something that's healthy without trying to just take action to get them to go away frantically. But just let them be there and then ask yourself what's the most loving thing you can do with that feeling to help yourself feel better and move forward in a positive, healthy manner that's good for the entirety of your life. So find a way to process them, feel them, integrate the feelings into your life and into your personal story. And that is really going to be the best way to deal with your feelings, but don't be in resistance to your feelings. Tip number 4 is to let go or stop all or nothing thinking. So a lot of times people will say, especially procrastinators will say, oh my goodness, I have to get all of this done right now or not at all. Or this has to be done completely this way or not at all. Or there's no use in even starting this because I'm not even going to be able to finish it according to X, Y, and Z standard. And a lot of times, to be truthful, a lot of these standards and expectations and black and white thinking comes from other people and comes from past experiences for that person. So a lot of times it's not even coming genuinely from what they want to be doing, but it's coming, these type of standards of how something needs to be done or not at all, it's usually coming from some belief system that was formed either by watching and learning from someone else or from past experiences when the person was younger. So instead of thinking all or nothing, just think progress. Progress is fine. So there's no all or nothing, it has to be done right now or never, or I have to be doing something right now or not at all, or if I can't get it done this way, then I should never do it. So don't, those are not useful, and those thoughts will keep you stuck. Instead, a lot of times too, what procrastinators are looking for is a clean slate of some sort. So a lot of times people will put things off and say, well, tomorrow's a fresh day, I'll start tomorrow. And so putting it off till tomorrow, though, tomorrow never comes. So the next day there's some reason why it's still not a good time to be taking action. So the person then procrastinates another day, looking for that clean slate when everything is going to be wonderful and rosy and just the right time to take action. So instead, why don't you create a different clean slate? So why don't you take 10 minutes, breathe, walk around, do a little bit of exercise or something, maybe for 10 or 15 minutes to clear your mind and reset your physiology and your nervous system. Maybe meditate, whatever it is that you do to kind of change how you're thinking and feeling in the moment. And then why don't you start the slate for in an hour from now? Instead of waiting a whole nother day, say, okay, I'm going to start a blank slate in an hour. It's going to be a fresh start. So you have that option to choose when you want to create a blank slate for yourself, and it doesn't always have to be tomorrow. Tip number 5 is to clear up your baggage and get rid of your fears or the unreasonable fears that are holding you back. So there's always going to be fear in doing something that's unknown, and there's always going to be fear in trying something new and building a new skill set or reaching out to build a new relationship or whatever it is. There's always going to be some fear there because there's uncertainty. And the human brain and the human nervous system is wired to create a fear response whenever there's uncertainty like that in a new situation. So instead, what you want to do is work on conditioning yourself to feel a certain amount of fear and be okay with it and still be able to take action. And the next thing you want to do also is to clear up your baggage with fears that are caused from past, traumatic experience, some reaction that is just not useful for you. So you want to clear those up, clear up the fears from the past, and then condition your nervous system, condition yourself to also be able to feel a certain amount of fear that's going to be normal and going to be present in every new situation where there's uncertainty and you're not sure exactly how it's going to go. So these are the 5 tips, and they will definitely help you to stop procrastinating and start moving and getting into action and getting things done in your life that are really important for you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, visit my website, and I will see you in the next video.